Hello, sports fans. Welcome to the greatest sports show on planet Earth. This is Sports in 60 Minutes on iRival Studios. I'm Femi Farawe. I'm excited to have you join us today. Loads of stuff to touch on. Super Eagles coach, big conversation. The Npfl starts. What's going down? We've also got all the other stories around the international football scene and the build-up to the Olympic Games. But I'm not doing this alone. I've got two great friends of mine who'll be joining right here. Got Princewill Oviesan. He's right here. Princewill, how are you doing today?
It's a pleasure being here, Femi.
All right. Francisca Nwobodo is also here. Got to this time
Absolutely.
All right. So great.
Absolutely good to be here today.
I had to rehearse your name. All right. So we do know we've got quite a lot to share with you today on the show. But first, let's go for a break. When we come back, we'll take you through all the big stories right here from the exciting world of sports. Okay, welcome back. So we've got loads of stories to share with you. Remember, I've still got Princewill right here, Francisca and me, Femi. Let's touch on some of the stories coming in from the Nigerian football scene. And the biggest obviously has to be the Npfl. Now, the AGM was conducted this week, right? Confirmed. We've seen loads of stories coming through. Francisca, let's start with you. How excited are you ahead of the new season?
So much excited. We saw the prize money, especially that will be given to the crowned champions of the season, the new season. And we saw that happened in the last season. Confirmed Rangers, they are, rich, 150 million naira and also additional 50 million naira coming from the government. And now they have come out, the organizers have come out to say, in fact, we are now going to make it 200. So for me, this is just brilliant. But then are there other things that have been put into measures? That's the big question.
Well, we do know that quite a number of things have been put in place in terms of the way the season will run, allowance to ensure teams on the continent participate and represent Nigeria well, and give them everything they need to go in terms of when the league starts. 31st of August is the date. Let's look at what the fixtures completed yesterday, right? Came through. Prince will help me out on this one because I'm looking through some of those big games and I can only just celebrate with excitement knowing that the Npfl starts and what's to come through.
Well, it's a good one. We're starting early this period. If you look at the past one or two editions, it's not been easy. I would really want to see what Ikorodu, CTFC and Kano Pillars want to do. But what is really catching my fancy right now is the new team Beyond Limits coming into the league. As a rookie, I don't need to use that word, as a rookie, will they be able to stand the pressure from the Npfl?
It is going to be difficult for them because the stories coming out is they will not have that slot when the season starts, right? Fillers, underground G's. It's stated that originally Sporting Lagos were offered the opportunity to buy the club, but the updates are Heartland will buy the club. They'll buy that slot, not the club, that slot. So Beyond Limits will return to the NNL, which is where Heartland would have been based on their relegation, while Heartland will come into the Npfl. They'll be coached by Emmanuel Amunike.
Exactly.
There's still feelers from that story.
Exactly. That's where my problem comes from. Then how then do we talk about the professionalism of the league? Because if you're telling me, I would have preferred that. Allow those people come in and do what they feel they can do.
No, but the rule states you cannot have one owner owning two clubs.
That's where the problem is because Sudan owns
Remo Stars
and also Beyond Limit. But for me, the exciting part of it all is that Heartland has been a traditional name within the domestic scene. If they could get that slot that belongs to Beyond Limit, they will still compete. But my own grounds is this: so much cloud around Amunike taking the national team job, he couldn't really get it. Let him come out now to prove that he has what it takes.
All right, I will look forward to the start of the Npfl. Remember, it begins on the 31st of August, and there's so much excitement coming through. We're looking forward to it. Quite a number of managerial changes also before the start of the new season. Some controversy, Francisca. Let me bring your thoughts on this one, because I know I saw Kano Pillars unveil Paul Ofo. And then I saw another release where they said he's no longer the manager. I'm confused.
I'm more confused than you are because, well, that is one thing we say in the Nigerian professional football. In the Nigerian scene, I used to have this, senior journalists who would say that, it's only in Nigeria that abnormality becomes normal. Because I'm just imagining how would you...
tough.
Perhaps maybe that's the word I'm looking for to borrow from you. But I'm just imagining, how come you unveiled a manager and everybody putting their hands together, applauded you in everything, and at the end of the day you come out to say, oh, he's no longer the manager and we are trying to unveil another person, or we will be unveiling another person. For me, this doesn't really sit well for me.
Are you aware that Mbosso is moving straight to Bayelsa United?
Oh yes, it's confirmed. That's a confirmed story. It's a good story, in my opinion. I think someone has seen him and believe in him. It's also confirmed as well that the Nigerian Football Federation have not renewed his contract.
Yeah.
Right, so he's no longer manager of the under-20. Some persons will rest.
Mbosso is a very fantastic coach. So me, I don't mind wherever.
This guy's small.
No,
small.
For me, when he coached El Kanami Warriors, I feel he was as at that time, because I saw him play good football.
Princewill, let me just be moving forward.
Okay, and leave me where I am.
Now we know where Francisca is.
Okay.
Let's talk about the Super Eagles, because that's also in the news. The schedule for the Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers. We know Nigerian football has been through a lot, but now the schedule for the Nations Cup, which is in 2025 in Morocco, being December, January, is out. Some of the fixtures just to run through on your screen right there. There's Nigeria against Benin Republic. That's the first game on the 2nd of September. Then Nigeria against Rwanda away from home on the 6th of September. That's a FIFA international window. The next window comes in October. The Super Eagles return. Libya will be the opponent on the 11th. And then on the 15th, there will be a swap. Nigeria takes on Libya in the reverse fixture. November 11 comes in with the last window for the Super Eagles in their bid to qualify away to Benin Republic. That's Geno Ross' team. Remember what happened the last time Nigeria faced them. And then the final game will be against Rwanda for a place in the Africa Cup of Nations. Princewill, let's start out with you. Who will coach the Super Eagles for this God? Because it's not a matter of seeing this fixture. Who will think at the team?
It's a big question, Femi. It's a big question. And I think that's where our problem will start from, because you cannot take a team that doesn't have a coach into a competition. You're going to be in completely disarray. But my fear is we have the same old foes we've been struggling with in the World Cup qualifier, Rwanda and Benin Republic. And the way it's going, she knows me, I say it the way it is. We might not get to the Nations Cup as
well, for me, I will not be concluding. It depends on the kind of coach we are bringing in. If it's an experienced coach.
For AFCON qualifiers, guys. It's AFCON qualifiers.
I don't understand. Did you not play Benin Republic? What happened?
Was a blip. It happened.
Qualifiers. What happened?
Francisca, it was a mistake.
What kind of mistake? You tell me that is a mistake?
Go ahead, ask me.
Genetro,
yes,
coach the Super Eagles.
Yes.
We said he didn't have any pedigree.
Yes.
He didn't achieve much. He's now with
Benin Republic.
The Cheetahs of Benin Republic.
Whatever they like, they should change their name to Squirrel Cheetahs. That's a problem.
But he already has an edge, a psychological edge.
Absolutely.
You're having them in the qualifier.
But you don't know who's going to be coached, because the story is going around. There's some very solid names. Steve McLaurin has been thrown into the mix.
Do we have the money to finance that?
Oh, yes, we do.
Okay.
I don't know why people doubt the fact that, look, we've employed some managers. How much were we paying Pesero before this?
Then I am worried if those kind of people eventually are being employed or engaged. Because if that's the thing, then why did you allow Finidi George to come in when you know you already have,
But again, Nigerians clamored for a local coach. Now, I don't know why you're trying to move the goalpost, Francisca. After we went to the AFCON and failed to win, Nigerian fans were upset about it and said we wanted a coach close to home.
Yes.
There was this guy, and we said we'll wait the distance, we'll build, we'll be very patient. And when things just went wrong after 2 games, the same Nigerians said sack him.
So whose fault is it?
It's Nigerians.
Nigerians' fault. I disagree with you.
Let's come back to the drawers. We have Libya. We've not played them for quite some time. The last time we played Libya, we found it so difficult to get over them. We don't have a coach. The qualifiers are coming in. We are not organized.
Well, I don't know what you are talking about. These games, look, I'm looking at these games.
Are you in Nigeria?
I am in Nigeria.
Are you sure you're in Nigeria?
Super Eagles will qualify.
And you don't know what we are talking about?
Super Eagles will qualify. And I think our worst case will be second in that group. Worst.
Well, that was also because
at the end of the day, exactly. At the end of the day, they'll say, of course, you know what we used to do. The mathematics and everything.
When we
we do this one, win this one, take this one off, draw against this one. Should we continue doing all of these things at every point in time? Why can't we just get it right?
I think as human beings, we're insatiable. Nigerians generally. Obviously. When we had Geno Run, we were qualifying with a game or 2 to spare. We said, the kind of football we played wasn't good enough. We got Eguavon Remember, we got knocked out the second round. And we said, well, he played great football, but we want someone to take us to tournament. We went for Parceiro. We complained when Parceiro was on board again that his type of football was negative. We wanted someone to play more. We brought in Finidi George. It just shows you that you can never please us. For me, football is all about results. I don't care if you pack the bus with 10 men in the box. One person scores the goal. That's all that matters. And we got Rwanda, Libya, and Benin. That revenge mission, Benin will suffer in the Super Eagles hand.
But in as much as we have fantastic players, we don't have a team. That's where my problem.
We have a team. We have a team.
Femi Farawe has a team.
We have a team. There's no way anyone will tell me we do not have a team.
We have players, but we don't have a team.
We got the African Footballer of the Year, Victor Osimhen.
Group of players.
We got the best player at the Europa League. There's no way we won't qualify for the Cup of Nations. But check that day out. It's September. That's when the qualifiers begin. The guys have given their verdict. I think the Super Eagles will be there. We'll qualify with ease, no matter who takes us through. Even if we bring Nadal back, we'll be right there at the Cup of Nations. Let's go for another break. When we come back, we've got more conversations from the international scene right here on Sports in 60 Minutes. Time for us to go abroad now. There are loads of stories from the international scene. July brought in great performance from the football scene. The Copa America was concluded in the USA and it was very feisty. If you didn't see it, then trust me, you missed out with some of the most engaging football fixtures. Argentina were victorious, guys. And, you know, I don't know how to describe it. Maybe, Francisca, you do a better job in describing how you saw the tournament. Well, I just saw people kicking each other.
But why do people say that the tournament isn't that as big as? In fact, somebody came out to say isn't that big. Is not big as the CAF AFCON Nations Cup. That's what somebody said.
Where's the person from?
Such comparison is draconic.
I think that's about preference.
Exactly.
For me,
that was what I told the person.
Europe has the market, and we will not lie.
Absolutely,
the eyeballs
I
are in
agree with
Europe.
you.
And if anyone wants to argue about it, think about the 2014 FIFA World Cup, right? Remember the whole idea of water break was because they wanted European market to watch those games. So even when it was in a hot afternoon, they forced players to play football. So the market where the money comes out from will be there. They took this tournament to the USA. If you saw the final of this tournament, Shakira performed the halftime show. Naturally, break. For football. Football is 45, 15, 45.
Yeah, 15.
Yeah. She performed for 25 minutes.
Almost 30 minutes.
Because apparently they want to sell the market. They want to know she's not Super Bowl. They wanted her to do this. They feel she comes out as appealing. Marketability, that's the word. She's on the World Cup. But I thought the football itself was very tough. Some great games I saw. Uruguay, Colombia. Brazil, Uruguay. Right? Even the finals was tough as well. Colombia against
Argentina.
It's amazing. 3 of the coaches in the semi-final are from Argentina. Marcelo Bielsa, Nestor, the coach of Colombia, and then Lionel Scaloni. But generally, you thought the football was good? Or?
Me, generally, I think the football is good, if you ask me, although it is difficult perhaps in terms of waking in the early hours of the day to watch the game. But then when you wake up to watch the game and eventually you see the beautiful style of football, I appreciate it, especially with the names that you mentioned, with the club names you mentioned, with the national team name that you mentioned, talking about Colombia, Uruguay, Argentina. These are people that I always want to wake up and watch, including Brazil as well. So for me, I feel this is great.
Brazil were a bit disappointed.
Yeah, I was just
of course.
I fortunately watched some of the games Brazil played, and I was like, is it aftermath of what actually transpired in Europe with the players? But for me, the team of the tournament actually won the tournament, Argentina.
Really?
Yes. If you look at the dexterity they brought to bear, they were very, very focused, especially within the game they had with Colombia in the final.
Yeah.
It shows you the mentality they brought onto that particular game. They knew what was at stake, and they went out to pick up the trophy. But for me, I think the big show of the tournament was Messi crying. I saw no reason why he was crying.
Why?
Why did you say that, Prince?
Is there anything wrong with a man showing emotion?
There's nothing wrong in a man showing emotion, but you could keep that to yourself. Fine, you were injured. Now you're the superstar of the team. You were substituted. come off it, go off there and sit down and rest.
Are you aware that the team is built all around him and he's like, oh, this just happened to me. How do I then support the team? I feel that's the reason why he had to share that. Yes.
Stars in that Argentine team and they deliver. When he left, didn't they deliver? They delivered.
But they needed to see their captain on the field of play to, play football.
I'm with you on this one, Francisca. I'm surprised because that's why I'm looking at Princewill. I'm like, I have no idea.
They needed to see their
I don't think there's anything
play.
wrong in a man crying. I think it's fine. That's how you want to express your emotions. That's fine.
And funny enough, well, that's
Ronaldo. I know this is cliche, but Ronaldo also cried at the Euros, and I didn't see any big deal in it. Like, I didn't see a problem in it. I thought, as a footballer, if you want, we want to see men show more emotions in this generation, right? Because we always think a man is forming, oh, I'm up tough. You never see me cry. I'll never succumb to my emotions. But these guys have shown us that as a young footballer, if you cry, it's fine.
But you agree with me that in that Argentina squad is super studied.
No, but you also understand that this tournament was very significant, right? Because Angel Di Maria was retiring from international football. And this was a way for them to say, because at the World Cup, they said they wanted to win it for Messi. Now they said they wanted to win this tournament for Di Maria. It's a good team. But is it the best team in the world? I don't think so, because Messi hasn't got the legs he used to long ago. I don't think they've got great defenders at the moment. The strikers, while Alvarez and Lautaro Martinez are popular names, I still don't think they're in the mold of the Batistuta, Hernan Crespo Argentina had before.
I agree with you there.
Right? I think they're very good.
So which team becomes the best team in the world as we speak currently?
It's still Argentina.
Well, they're going to play the Finalissimo final.
Yeah.
That's the game against Spain.
Yes.
Because Spain are champions from the Euros. Let's switch over to the Euros as we're saying now. Spain won the Euros, played arguably the most exciting football. I was rooting for England. I won't lie about it.
Right. It would have been an insult to football if England goes ahead to win the tournament.
Why?
For me, that's what I feel.
Why?
Because come on, you can't play shambolic football.
You call that shambolic football?
That is what it is. You played a football that, luck took you all through into the finals. And you are expecting someone who has showed class from the beginning, winning 6 games.
No, but Francis always had this time around.
No,
because that's what I feel. It would have been a huge insult in football if England would have had gone ahead to win the tournament.
When you say luck, every team has had some fortune of luck. Spain had one in the quarterfinal. Remember the Germans.
But of course, you will agree with me that they showed stats. They showed that resilience.
I agree.
They showed everything coming from the beginning of the game. So why would you not expect England?
From nowhere.
From nowhere.
Not given a chance at the beginning, but they got to the final.
No. England were favourites at the start. But when they saw the first game against Serbia, automatically the bookmakers sort of tipped them not to go far. But I think what they showed, and I agree with you, they showed character.
Exactly.
Despite whenever the odds were down, they just found a way.
Some win.
And have they got a player in the Euros team of the tournament?
Yes, they do.
Walker.
Okay, so let's look through what UEFA put forward in terms of the team of the tournament from the European Championship. 11 players. We obviously know Spain will dominate that squad list.
They have
because
six players in that team.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
all right. Here are those players. Francisca, can you do us the honors of taking us through those names selected? Okay. Let's Princewill.
Okay. The most surprised player in this team is what's his name now?
Manuel Akanji.
Cucurella. For me, based on his performance in Chelsea, he became a wonderful player with the Spaniard team, and he's already in that particular team. Kyle Walker is right in there. Saliba is also there. Akanji is there. For me, Akanji was just one player that stood out in the Swiss national team all throughout the championship. But the most surprising player I saw in that particular list was Kylian Mbappe.
Well,
why were you surprised?
UEFA has to put their superstar there.
Considering
why were you surprised?
Yes, considering the fact that his performance in the Euro wasn't top notch.
Then now you will agree with me
If I just may, just to mention the other names, the goalkeeper is France's goalkeeper, Mike Mignon. The three midfield from Spain, Rodri, Fabian Ruiz, and Olmo. And up front, they've gone for Yamal, Williams, and Musiala. So let's get your disagreement. Why were you a bit surprised?
If you look at the performance of the French national team, which is my team over time, she knows anytime the French is playing, I'm always rooting for
because
them.
You speak French.
I'll root for the French.
We'll deport you. That's what I mean. But we won't deport you to France because I'm sure France will reject that division.
But if you look at what Kylian Mbappe actually did with the French national team, he wasn't 100% into any of the games. Probably he was cautious considering the fact that he's moving to a new club, he wants to be fully fit and to get into Real Madrid. For me, he's just a surprise player in that particular team of the tournament.
So who would you have allowed, who would you have felt, oh, this is a better substitute for his position?
They have their indices for picking up the player. For me, Mbappe shouldn't have been in this team.
You know what I do think? I think that a lot of credit has to go to the manager of Spain, De La Fuentes.
Yeah.
He wasn't the most celebrated manager going into this tournament. No one knew this guy. Right?
Nobody.
There was someone who came in through from the under 17 to the under 20, under 21, which is the Olympic team, right? And he's been able to graduate a lot of these players. There's a project. The project is find how you, Francisca, will fit into our system. How you, Prince, will fit into our system. Not coming, says he doesn't want a superstar who comes in with big ego and scatter the whole thing. But now everyone has got their eyes firmly on Spain because they are Nations League champions. They are European champions. They've got the World Cup in 2026. And at the moment, everyone has got a target on their back. Let's head for another break. We're building down or counting down to the start of the Olympic Games right here on Sports in 60 Minutes. We'll build up and look through some of the superstars to watch out for when we come back. Well, this is the third part of the show, Sports in 60 Minutes, live in our Rebel Studios. I'm Femi, right here with Francisca and also Princewill, now going over to the Olympic Games. The build-up to this event is magnanimous. It's big, it's huge, and everyone is talking about it. Now, there are so many athletes for you to watch out for ahead of this. Let's just pick into some of the stories to come through from the Olympic Games. Now, Paris will join London as the only cities to have hosted the Olympics 3 times. Now, the Games were held in Paris in 1900, in 1924, and again in 2024, where London hosted them in 1908, 1948, and in 2012. Now, the Paris Olympic Games, it obviously will take place exactly 100 years after Paris held the Olympics in 1924. Now, breakdancing, by the way, will be making its debut at these Games, so that's fun stuff to see who can do the best robots at the Games. Aquatics will also be the sport with the most medals awarded in Paris, with 49 events divided into swimming, marathon swimming, there's diving, water polo, artistic swimming. Athletics is close behind at 48. Nigeria's got a few athletes, so you've got to watch out for those ones. But let's look through some of the superstars expected at this Olympic Games. Number one and undisputed, right there at the top of the list, according to my producers, is LeBron James. The United States men's basketball team player is one of the basketball's finest players. In 2023, he became the NBA's top scorer with 38,000 points. He'll make his 4th appearance at this Games for the USA. All eyes will be on the basketball legend, and his presence obviously will bode well for the USA team. He's got Steph Curry for company. That should make that team very solid. From the athletics scene, there's Eliud Kipchoge from Kenya. He's a marathon runner. He's already a world record holder, having won 2 Olympic gold medals. Kipchoge is widely considered as the best marathon runner of all time. He'll be hoping to defend his championship title at the Paris Olympic Games. Fingers crossed, we'll see how that one turns out for him. We've also got Noah Lyles from athletics, the 100 meters and 200 meters runs for the USA. Noah Lyles is a track and field athlete. He specializes in those events. He's competed at the Olympics, or this will be his first time at the Olympics. I beg your pardon. The first time was in 2021. Won a bronze medal, the 200 meters. He won gold medal in the 100 and 200 meters at the 2023 World Championship. Now, with his speed, his charisma, his swag, his steez, everything makes him one of the favorites to go on and win this event. And let's talk about another old warhorse, someone who we've seen do it for many times, Rafael Nadal. Some say he's the greatest tennis player, but the jury is out. He's got another tennis star to watch in the Paris Olympic Games. He's won 14 Grand Slam titles, the French Open, the Olympic gold in the men's singles in 2008. His skill, his experience, his age or could be a factor for him. He's 38 years old. They've got loads of younger athletes, including Alcaraz, who'll be gunning for that Olympic gold medal. We'll see if he will break past those barriers to become number one. There's the female athletes to watch out for. Simone Biles of the USA in gymnastics. They say she's the small god of the gymnastic event. She's obviously synonymous with US gymnastics. She's one of the most renowned gymnasts. She's won 37 Olympic and World Championship. Now, following her disappointing performance at the Tokyo Olympics, the 26-year-old is hoping for an excellent showing in Paris and a top gold medal candidate for the event. Now, what's exciting is despite her age, she's got loads of experience to go through. Sharika Jackson, former athletics, she's from Jamaica. Track and field will also be another outstanding sprinter to watch out for in the 100 meters, 200 meters, and 400 meters races. She's the defending champion in the 200 meters. Helen Thompson is not there, so she's got a good slot. Another athlete is Sha'Carri Richardson from the USA. The track and field sensation is returning to the Paris Olympic Games with a bang. Now, remember, she failed a drug test and was unable to compete in the Tokyo 2020. For marijuana, the 23-year-old has recovered. She's ready. And already the time she's posted this year are amazing. So Nigerian athletes, watch out. You've got one superstar you need to hunt down at this Paris Olympic Games. Talking about Nigerians, well, Tobi Amusan cannot be omitted. I'm a bit surprised she came in number 4. She's the 100 meters hurdles world record holder. Let that sink in. 12.12 seconds is what she posted back in the day. She set that record at the 2022 women's 100 meters hurdles semi-final in Eugene, Oregon. She's the current Commonwealth and African champion in the 100 meters hurdles, as well as the mixed record holder in both events. So she obviously comes to the top, and she could be one of those athletes to watch out for. Guys, I've got to get your thoughts on it. Francisca, you, have seen Tobi Amusan do what she does best. She's obviously one of the top athletes Nigeria medaling or hoping to medal on. You think she'll be up for this Olympic Games?
Absolutely, she will. I love the charisma and the character that at every point in time, you see Tobi Amusan put out there. You see how passionate she is each time she's representing for the country, not just for the country, for herself too. So I am not surprised. I'm just a bit surprised she's making the list. I was going to say,
be a bit higher, right? A bit higher?
Maybe. Maybe. But this is, I know that Tobi Amusan is one athlete that you can always bank on. I don't think she's going to disappoint this time around.
Princewill, Nigeria will participate in how many events, and what do you think our medal chances are?
Limited chances, if you ask me, considering the fact, I always say the way it is.
That's why nobody likes you, Princewill. Nobody likes you.
We have been
Nobody likes
so
you.
how come?
12 events, with the potentials we have, it's quite disheartening to note that swimming, that raking so much medals, we're not even competing there. And rather, we have a lot of waters, rivers, seas everywhere with the jaws.
These things takes a lot of practice and planning, and we're not physically endowed.
That's what he's saying, that when we have the river
but we don't have but we don't have the physique. It's about.
Well,
it's also about the body. No,
we can
it's about
build.
the body.
We can nurture the talents. The talents are there. It's all about nurturing the
talents.
talents.
Very thoughtful.
But that's
not
just
too
the
hard.
truth.
Femi,
it just can be inside that river bend. Is it river Niger?
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
There was somebody in Bayelsa State that swam the length of that sea for almost 2 hours and came out looking really good.
Princewill, we're not as talented in that sport, and I think that we've got comparative advantage in the weightlifting, boxing, wrestling, athletics, those power sports.
Okay, let me come
that's our, and that's why when I asked you what our medal chances are, I won't lie to you. Athletics tops that list, right? Wrestling follows very closely, and then we've got weightlifting.
Powerlifting.
Yeah, we've got a couple of boxers, but I'm more confident about wrestling and weightlifting.
I need to ask you this.
Ask me.
The Olympic is made up of the Paralympics and the Olympics itself.
Yeah.
Are you combining the medals we're going to win from
No. I'm talking about just the main Olympics,
okay,
right?
The
Paralympics. The Paralympics, I'm not even worried about that. Princewill, we'll come back with medals.
Yeah,
I know I always sound too confident, but if I'm confident about any team, those ones, don't even put them in the conversation because they are sure banker.
They'll definitely give you a medal that you were looking for.
I have my hopes on?
Where?
The track. Where Amusan and some few of the athletes.
There's a rumor, right?
Then how come are we not talking about football here?
No, we can't. No. The Super Falcons, let's be very fair.
No, you don't say that. You cannot say that.
But Francisca, I've already said, no.
The mentality
that
group is not there.
No, not even beyond the mentality.
Spain, Japan.
That group is different. we're talking about the world champions, Spain.
Spain,
We're talking about the
Japan.
Olympic champion, Canada.
Canada.
We're talking about the former world champion, Japan.
Then Super Falcons.
What are we? We're not even the champions of Africa.
Africa. Aside that, the pedigree these other three things are bringing to bear, they're quite intimidating.
Yes,
but
we
I
just
feel
spoke about Spain in terms of the sort of football development, and really I've sat down to speak to loads of people who've stayed in Spain, who've seen the football culture. Spain they don't build with 1 year. They build for
it's
10
decade.
years.
Yes, I was saying that. I was
Because
telling
remember,
someone
in
it's decade.
1999,
Okay.
when it came to Nigeria, right? For Nigeria 99, a lot of those players made up the squad in 2010.
Exactly.
There was Xavi there was Casillas in that
There was
team.
Iniesta,
So it's
Fabregas.
the same thing. When they built in 2012, a lot of these teams plays what we're seeing now. Morata was part of that team that started the building process.
I agree.
We've seen a lot. Rodri has been in the Spanish football circle for a long period. So they're the ones who have not blossomed into this new team. And automatically they started the new process again. The likes of Pedri, Gavi, Yamal, right? Nico Williams. That's the new generation that will last for another 10 years. So I don't think, even in the women's football, right? Women's football, they've got loads of good players, but Mati obviously stands out as one of their super names. I think that we cannot beat Spain. I also believe that Canada will be a struggle for us. The last time we played Canada at the World Cup was a draw.
Yeah. So are you then saying we are just going there to make up the numbers?
I think so.
Back to the medals prospect.
Wow,
I really think wrestling will give us a good area of hope.
Yeah, I think we'll compete. For me, I think our athletes will compete. Do I think they will medal? That's for me. It takes individual brilliance to move. Because even Toby hasn't had the best time this year.
Yeah.
But let's be very frank. As much as we're Nigerians and we want to talk passionately about this thing, Toby's numbers this year she's not the top three in terms of the numbers this year from the 100-meter hurdles.
Yeah.
Brume is not she's not in the top 2.
Even Chukwuebuka
Elekwechi is far from it. Rosemary, Chukwuma, they're all far from it. I do think, however, there are a few athletes that we can hope for. Favour Ofili. My issue with Favour is a lot of times it just seems as though things get to her a little too quick.
Distraction.
Yes, she gets distracted. She wants things to go this way, right? And once the Nigerian Athletics Federation starts to misbehave, she just pulls off. And look, I think she's got loads of potential. I think she's one of those names for us to watch out for. Ucheoriche Shekiri, it's another name for us to watch out for.
Ask you, Femi, do you really think we'll better our lots compared to what we did in London 2012 in this particular Olympic?
London 2012, we're not great. We're not good.
We did our best.
Well, but the best wasn't good enough.
But
if we're going to compete, maybe if you tell me 2000 or 1996, then I'll say yes. But we can't do that.
But I think I feel we are going to get more medals this time around.
Really?
That's what I feel because I can see the passion. You might not see it from the federation individually. I am saying, I'm not talking about the federation at this point in time. Which was what he mentioned, whether they are going to pick up the medal, it is based on their individual performance. You can see these athletes, they are already gunning for the Olympics. So I feel they can do it individually.
I saw that trial. You could see the disjointed nature.
That's what I said. Exactly. That's what I said. Let's take away the organizers or the federations. But the individuals, they are ready
but
to
Francisca,
go compete
in every
for
sport,
this tournament.
When you spoke about athletics, a few athletes were disappointed that they were dropped.
Exactly.
While some others who did not made that list. One. Number two, in football, a few of the names were dropped. Asisato Shola has not had the best of seasons. She's on that list to go. Right? That's for football. I think only wrestling and maybe table tennis, because table tennis is obviously based on the qualifiers. So it's Fatima Bello, Aaron Okodri. Those are the top athletes for us. Omotayo Olajide.
What else is badminton?
So badminton.
So let's see badminton now. Let's talk about the guy.
We cannot win. Anu
can do stuff. Anu can do stuff. Anu can do stuff. I've seen Anu played and she has won before. He has won rather before.
At that level.
Sorry, Okpe. It's Okpe I'm talking about.
At that level.
Anu, his full name is Anu.
Okpeyori. But I've seen him compete.
He can't pick the
gold
medal.
Where? Where did he compete, Francisca?
He can't pick the gold medal.
Where now?
He's been doing a lot of He's gone for tournament to tournament. Qualifications and all of that.
Francisca, have you seen Aaron Okodri go to the tournament? Yes, right?
Yes.
How many Olympic medals has he won?
It's a different ball game.
The Olympics is a different ball game.
But the Federation President Francis Obi will tell you, "Oh,
I like Francis Obi.
Optimism.
I love
Optimism
him.
plays a key role.
And he, no, but
he's done. He's done.
But
I would think that he's the one who has shown interest when it comes to Federation President.
No. I think Daniel Igali for me stands out.
For wrestling.
I think Daniel Igali stands out. I think Igali is the sort of person who not only does he put the development of the athletes,
He also spends his own money.
he also,
Francis Obi as well.
I'm not denying that
for
Francis
the
Obi, yes.
Federation.
But I'm saying that we're seeing the results. Consistent result. The last medal we won at the Olympics
was from
wrestling provided it.
Maybe I'm going to just
that was
challenge.
a silver medal
Yes.
from Blessing Oborodudu. We're disappointed because we thought Odunayo was pinned for a gold and she was leading. I thought she became a bit complacent and just relaxed. So I'm saying once again that we've got great athlete Messi Genesis, right? They've got good cast. And that's where I'm pinning that athletics, because we've got Toby, a world record holder, and then wrestling follows immediately.
Even in the athletics, I think it's only from the relay angle we could break through.
Well, the relays are also good for us, but we need to be very wary of the USA and Jamaica.
Even the Britons.
Well, yeah, we can't deny, but you can't deny what the Americans did. The last World Athletics Championship, Sha'Carri, there's this doubt people have put over Sha'Carri Richardson that she has to turn around. And if you saw the World Championship in that relay, she took the last lap and she just breezed past everybody
out.
Because she said, look, she had to prove a lot after that marijuana issue. She had to show people what she was capable of. And this year, we've seen the times she's posted. She's posted some of the fastest times in 2024. Same as, Sharika Jackson. However, the only doubt here now I've got is when we switch over to our male athletes.
What happened?
Because, I see what the Jamaicans have put.
We don't even have what it takes.
I don't think none of our athletes has run sub 10.
Yeah.
None has run sub 10 this year. And
that gives me, huge worry. And it's what this means for me. It means that people are not doing what they're supposed to do. They are not doing their work, and they are making use of the resources that is being allocated for this federation. And at the end of the day, when tournaments like this come, we cannot even beat our chest to say,
"Can I help you?" Is our tradition.
We can.
No, but it takes
that's the mentality. Princewill, we keep saying it is our tradition.
Difficult.
It can change if we want to change it. It's just it's not rocket science, for crying out loud, Princewill and Femi. I don't know if you agree with me. I'm just concerned that at the end of the day, you are being paid taxpayers' money to do a job, and at the end of the day, you don't do that job.
I feel
it is so painful. So people needs to be accounted for. For the resources that they have put in their hands.
We're a third world country, right? And whether we like it or not, that's what we are. And a lot of sports want to break out. Because this year, what we always do naturally, football is the king of sports for us. Right? Every other sport comes
next.
I think that we don't have the resources to do a 4-year cycle. So what we can benefit from is a lot of scholarships. And that's why we see people going athletics, going abroad. Yep. Because for Toby, where Toby is today is as a result of where she grew up in, the US environment. Same as well for basketball. We've seen a lot of these athletes come. The coach Wakamali's in the USA. But I still don't think we've got any medal chance or podiuming or making a podium at the Olympics for basketball team.
I agree with you. Absolutely.
You know what? We could go back and forth. I'm very optimistic, and I always believe that, look, while we can medal, I like to be realistic that competing is the most important thing at the Olympic Games. Let's go to something more fun after this break. Something that doesn't have us going back and forth about our chances. It's a transfer window. We'll share all of that and more with you when we return right here. Stay with us. All right, this is the last segment of the show, Sports in 60 Minutes, right here on Unveiled Studios. I'm Femi, still with Princewill and Francisca. So this time we're switching over to transfer stories. Loads of things going on in the transfer window. We've seen players make moves after the Copa America and also the European Championship. And the biggest, Princewill, has to be Kylian Mbappe, Unveiled at Real Madrid. And obviously the Hala Madrid continues.
It's a big one. It's a dream come true for Kylian Mbappe. Excitingly, before he got into Real Madrid, he has put some few things in place. At that press conference, he spoke Spanish for 8 minutes, and that actually excited the fans.
He did?
Yes, he spoke Spanish for 8 minutes.
We know what he was doing during the Euros.
Yes. He was fully ready for that journey. And if you listen to what he said it has been a dream come true, and he wants to thank his parents for supporting that move. But he's going to be an explosive.
We know that. Where is he going to play? That's the one I don't know.
Yeah, that's a big question. If you look at what Real Madrid is right now, with Jude Bellingham becoming an instant superstar, moving around the whole pitch, and I think Kylian Mbappe might just be a pivotal player who has no role to play, no wing to play. I beg your pardon. Coming from the center, you know.
Prince, when you're talking to Lime. Talk to us. But when you say no role to play, I'm like, nah, boy, when they carry ball.
No. The kind of Kylian Mbappe style in Real Madrid is going to be what Messi does with Barcelona.
So you're saying like a floating player, someone who just roams,
who does roam around, get the ball, go out there to do the destruction.
I think the right word is utility player. He plays, he ensures perhaps a playmaker, and they want him to get the job done. If the team is struggling, he has to, show that, I can do this, I can carry the team on the shoulder, and I can flow along. That's what I feel. Let's just wait and see what happens as the season unfolds.
It's a little too early to start, but we've seen Real Madrid sign superstars and they failed. Yeah, Kaká comes to mind very quickly. Yeah. You think there's any chance of Kylian Mbappe failing? Because, like you said, Real Madrid have already got loads of superstars. Can he adapt, despite speaking the language? Can he adapt quick enough? And there are stories he said in his press conference. He's willing to play anywhere the coach asks him to play. Is there a possibility that Mbappe would flop?
That's the brilliancy coming from the player, talking about Mbappe as we speak. He knows that the team is already made up with stars, star-studded. They've got fantastic player, and he says, play me anywhere. I am ready for me. That shows a sign of brilliancy. If he's going to make it well in the club, I think it now depends on him individually to say, I want to do this. You mentioned Kaká. Also, do not forget Eden Hazard as well. He came into the club, and he was nowhere to be found. But I don't think that's going to be the case for Mbappe. For the fact that they have signed him without huge amounts of money, of course, definitely, it should prove a point in the club.
Let's talk about another champion this time from Spain. The captain of the national team, Alvaro Morata, confirmed he said his goodbyes. The stories linking him to AC Milan.
Well, for Morata has been one player that, sometimes I just wonder his style of play, because sometimes it's neither here or there. When you want him to do what he's supposed to do, he's not building up to expectation. He's not giving you what you want him to do. But for the fact that he has come out, I don't know if confirmed.
It's confirmed that
it's going to Juventus. It means that
going to AC Milan.
AC Milan, I beg your pardon. This means that, I think for the club and for the player, I think it's going to be a beautiful relationship for both of them.
I'm a bit confused. This is my personal opinion on this conversation, that whoever is his agent, him and Choupo-Moting's agent, I need to meet the two of them and intern under them. Because look, this guy's played for some of the biggest clubs. Real Madrid twice, Juventus, Atletico Madrid, Chelsea. Now he's going to AC Milan. He's just 30. So hopefully best of things for him at AC Milan when that deal does go through. We know that another confirmed story, Princewill, Joshua Zexi to Manchester United.
For Manchester United, they need all the very best legs they can get, considering their performance. Yes, if you look at what they went through last season, fine. They picked up the FA Cup, but was that enough? Was that the target? No. And the coach is in hot seat. So with such a caliber of player, they will actually want to put up a new standard, a new target, which should be the Champions League. So he actually fits in.
What does this guy do when he gets there? What role does he play? Because we already, from last season, Rashford on the left, Højlund in front. At the right, we saw Garnacho play those positions. Where does Zexi come through? Is he going to play in Bruno's position or somewhere else?
Well, that would depend on the coach.
But if you were in the coach's position at this point, where would you feature this player?
I want him to play from the left.
That means you're going to drop Rashford or sell Rashford?
Yes.
It's amazing.
Okay. Come from the bench.
Francisca, let's talk about to Arsenal. Now, they're planning to push for the title one more season, right? Unfortunately, they have met, like I said, when an immovable force meets, you know how that saying goes, when the mountain meets the wind, nobody wants to agree to that. But some players, began at Arsenal signing a few players in. One name that could go out is Emil Smith-Rowe. It's funny because they gave him the number 10 jersey after Mesut Ozil left. feeling that that's to raise his profile.
It's a big, yeah.
Yeah, but he hasn't really featured. Now we gather Fulham and Crystal Palace are interested.
Well, I don't know how this is going to pan out between the two parties, talking about Fulham and Arsenal. But one thing is certain for Arsenal. I've seen the level of consistency with them, and they are a kind of a team as we speak currently. If they see that this person is not in tune with what we want to achieve or what we are doing, perhaps we can just let the player go. So I feel this is just much the reason why they would say, you know what, just take him out.
All right, just going to add a quick one for you, and this is just flipping over to the next story about Mikel Merino, won the championship also. Arsenal, we hear, are probably going to drop their interest in Zubimendi and switch to him instead. They both play for Real Sociedad, by the way.
Wow, amazing.
Okay, all right, so good story for the midfielder. One last transfer for you, Princewill. Victor Taisgakov plays for Girona, had a great breakout season last time. Most of the players have been touted to move elsewhere. Manchester United once again. You know, there's their name.
What's up with Manchester United?
If you consider what happened to Manchester United, funny enough, Francisca is a strong fan of Manchester United.
But why do you keep?
Why not? How I switched
no, I was going to say that.
I gave you the Arsenal.
Absolutely, I was going to say, oh, why did you not allow the Arsenal fan Princewill to take up the story?
Going to wax lyrical about it.
If you take a critical look of what Manchester United went through last season, it was a drama. Early part of the season, they did pretty well. Towards the middle of the season, they dwindled and they suddenly picked up again. So they need all key actors that will take them. You know, Manchester United is a big name when it comes to branding.
Oh, yes,
so
that's true.
They need everything that could take them to the next level. And any player that will give them that edge is good for them.
All right, so we've already seen United sign one player in the Dutchman Joshua Zexi. He's got Nigerian origin, by the way, if you don't know. And also a few names have been listed. Matis de Ligt has been touted to be on his way to Manchester United. We also got that Uruguayan, I beg your pardon. Manuel Ugarte is also on the want list of Manchester United. Who knows? We'll wait to see how the transfer window spins. We'll keep you updated with all the stories right here on Sporting 60 Minutes on iRevel Studios. I must say big thanks to the guys for coming through. And Femi, thanks to the production team for putting this together. We'll come back with more stories, exciting news, hopefully, from the world of sports. Until then, bye for now, everyone. Peace.